Hello and welcome to my another video. In this video we're going to talk about Java continuous statement. The continuous statement actually is used for the loop to control the structure when you need to jump to the next iteration of the loop immediately. So we can use Java continuous statement in all type of the loops such as for loop, while loop and do while loop, and the structure of the Java continuous statement will be like, we have our jump statement, right? And then after jump we have a keyword like this one, continue, semicolon. So it should be like this. If I give you example, and you're gonna get much more idea of how continuous statement is working in Java. So let me remove the while loop and start with a basic information. So we're gonna start with a for loop, right? And then I have my for loop starting integer I equal to 1, integer is less than or equal to 10, and integer post incrementation. And then I have this one open. Then inside my for loop I have if statement. If integer I has already been assigned is equal to, that's integer I, okay, is equal to 5, then there is something wrong with the for loop, so let's see what's going on. Remove expression. Yeah, it should be fine now. Sorry. And then now I'm using my continuous statement. So using continue statement, and then over here I've got my continue. See, continue, press the space. So there you go. I've got my continue. So what does it do continue mean? The continue, it means it will skip the rest statement. And after that, at the end of the bracket, I have my system dot out dot print line, and then inside that I'm gonna say to print my I. Let's see if this one is working. We're gonna run it and we're gonna see if it's gonna give us the result. The result should be 1 2 3 4, not 5, right? 6 7, because we said over here, if it's don't print 5, if it's 5 don't print it, just continue to the rest. So that's the good thing in continuous statement. So we have more thing with continuous statement. We have Java continuous statement with inner loop. We have Java continuous statement with labeled for loop. We have Java continuous statement in while loop, and we have Java continuous statement and do while loop. So I give you example in all of them, and I give you a simple explanation what does it mean. So moving forward, so the Java continue in inner loop. What does it mean? It means that it continues the inner loop only if you use the continuous statement inside the inner loop. So if I give you this example again, if I go back over here and I've got my for loop over here, so I'm going to start with this one, then I've remove this one which I don't need it, So I have my outer loop. Then inside out after outer loop, I have for loop, integer I equal to 1, 3. So that's the outer loop. Then I can have my inner loop. So I'm going to copy this one, right? And that should be my inner loop. So I'm going to remove this one because I don't need it. Alright. Integer I. So on this I'm gonna this one integer j because I is already been, and say j is and after that inside here I have my if statement. So let me remove this one which I don't need. If statement I when I is equal to 2, right? Or j is equal to 2, then what we said over here, write down I say continue, then after at the end I have my system I plus j. Let's see if this one is working. So the idea of the Java continuous statement with inner loop is, so I've got my outer loop, right? And inside my outer loop I have my inner loop. So it continue in the loop, right? It continued the inner loop, which is this one, only if you use the continue statement, which is this one, inside the inner loop. So it should run this one. So we ask if the I is equal to or j is equal to, then continue run till 10. So let's see if this one is working. It should work. There you go. There's no error, the code is absolutely fine and it's running the whole program. So let's move to the next step, which is Java continuous statement with labeled for loop. So why we have to do Java continuous statement with labeled for loop? Actually, this is not using too much in these days in Java. It's using in the version of JDK 1.5. So the meaning of the continuous statement with label loop is that we can continue any loop in Java, so that is outer loop or inner loop. If I give you example, it won't help that much. Same like the inner loop, but the thing with labeled for loop, as my previous video which I showed you, we're gonna use like this statement, we're gonna show it and then we're gonna choose which one of them to be continue, and then it's gonna be print out. So the next thing, it should be the continue statement with the while loop or do while loop. So we're gonna start with the while loop. The while loop, the idea of the Java program is to demonstrate the use of the continue statement. So inside the while loop, all right. So how does it work? It works like this. I've got my main method over here, right? So I'm gonna start the continue statement with the while loop. So I have my while loop over here. Then I'm gonna say integer I is equal to 1. Then I say while I is less than or equal to 10. Then if, right? If I is equal to 5. Now I'm using the continue statement. Look, and while loop, right? And now I'm using the continue statement over here. So what I do now, I do post incrementation. There you go. Now continue. And then once it's finished, after my brackets, I've got my system dot out dot print line, and then inside out I say I, and then I plus plus. Let's see if this one is working. It should work, and it shouldn't give us any problem. There you go, 1 2 3 4. There's no 5. That's how it's working with the while loop. It seems like a for loop, but it's a bit different. Now we do with the do while loop. How is it's working with the do while loop? The thing with the do while loop is the Java program is the same like a while loop, but the condition is coming at the end. Alright, it's gonna be the same. It's not gonna print 5. You know, I'm gonna just change a few of this code, and it's gonna be like a do while loop. I've got my integer I here, but the while is coming. So let me remove this one. Then what I've got after this, then let me do it. I say I'm gonna have my do while loop. If I is equal to 5, post incrementation, then I use continue. So the continue is gonna skip it to the next statement. Then I have my system dot out dot print line. Then I have again my post incrementation over here after the. Then at the end, I have my condition, which is while. I've got it over here, so I don't need to do that. So I say while, and then I'm gonna run the system. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, there you go. So that was a continue statement using different loops. We have done first of all, we've done the continue statement example, and then in a loop, and then we done the label loop, and then we done the while loop and do while loop. I hope you understand. If you have any question, just put your question forward to your comments, and we'll answer that for you. Thank you very much.